I had to walk out of church today over.
I watched this young woman's video countless numbers of times. I wanted to continue to hear her heart because my heart was breaking for her. And to understand where she is, and because I know that she is not alone. We are all in the place where we are dealing with the duality of our faith in this Charlie Kirk situation, where the powers that be are painting him as a martyr, as though the words and the hatred that he spewed never came out of his mouth. And as though, and they are hiding it and hiding him as he hid himself, as she said, behind the Bible. I first want to address her because this is her video. I'm not here to make any type of, to get any clicks from her video for myself, because my heart is truly broken for her. I could feel and hear her pain with the complexity of faith and the conflict that she's having. And the fact that the leader said that this man is a reflection of faith, and it's causing her to desire to maybe not live in the faith of God. And that is this the reflection that I want to present to the world? And I say to you, young lady, no. That this is not what God thinks of you. And it is certainly what you should not think of yourself. That you did not steal or take away anything from a white woman. That as a black woman, you gave yourself what you desired, which was your best, and even the desire for better. And it's nothing wrong with that. As leaders, we've got to remember the psychology of this nation, and that the psychology of America, it is spewing hatred, oppression, killing, the taking of land from the indigenous nation. That is a part of the bedrock of America, in that it is woven into systems, and then it is further perpetuated by the psychology of white patriarchy, the white patriarchy of this nation. But our culture, as a people, our psychology is one of optimism. It is one of hope, and it is a deep belief in progress, and then also the spirit of forgiveness and humility. That's our culture, and that is something that it could be used against us, which is what they try to do, because we operate in such a place of forgiveness and mercy, that those are the characters and attributes of God that we send out into the atmosphere. And so they count on that. The fact that you can tell me, or this young woman, or any black woman, that because I desired better, that I stole something from a white woman, and I'm just going to take that. So when it comes to Charlie Kirk, yes, that was hatred. And we need to call hatred exactly what it is. That it does not further perpetuate itself in self-hate, where we begin to hate ourselves, where she's questioning who she is, who she believes, and does she even deserve better? Yes, you do. Yes, you do. And as they try to rewrite history and whitewash it and give it a revisionist impression for us that these things did not exist. And now you want us to believe that he did not say what he said when he did say it. And it is hatred. It's hatred. And it is wrapped in scripture. But again, that's the psychology of this nation. That is how they use scripture to hold the slaves at bay. That's how they use scripture to oppress slaves, by saying master. And so, no, I say to you, young lady, that is not what God thinks of you. And it's certainly not what you should think of yourself. The contradictions that we face in this nation and have faced even before Charlie Kirk is freedom versus control. Those things are still here. The fact that America itself says this is the land of the free and the land and the home of the brave. But then there's that control where freedom and control is limited in America because of the psychology of America and the white patriarchy of America, that those things are limited to us. And I say to white America, just because a white man says it does not mean that it's right. And that is where we find ourselves. Because a white man said it does not mean that it's right, and we've got to take it for what it is, hatred. We're also faced with the conflict and the contradiction of equality versus hierarchy. Same thing, nothing new, the psychology of America. That hierarchy and equality, the belief in fairness is what we stand on as a people. We're always looking for fair. We're always looking for equality. But then we're faced with the one that's doling out equality and saying that you want to now take away what we fought for just to get a little bit of equality. Now you want to take it away from us. It is clear to us that economic, racial, and social divides, the same things that Martin Luther King Jr. fought against, we are standing in right now. With a goal line that is always movable by white men at a white man's whim. The contradictions are central to America and America's psyche. America carries a long, unresolved collective trauma. What are these traumas? Slavery, indigenous displacement, wars, racial injustice, and inequality. Collective traumas that are still here today. Why? Because it is not and has never been addressed. You give and you take. You give and you take. Pushing these shadows aside is no longer acceptable, which is now why they want to just totally wipe it all away and feed you a new line and a new piece of bull that we've got to say, I'm not chewing on it, I'm not buying it, and it's a lie. We have mourned the loss of many of our own leaders for standing up the same way that Charlie Kirk did. But it was not spewed in hatred. It was, again, the idea, the belief of fairness, justice, forgiveness, and also hope and optimism. That's all we ask. And now you want to move the goal line again by just standing in our face and telling us that we took something from you. Lies. All lies.